Hey, and welcome to Unlearning Stress, the podcast where we break the rules and cycles that keep you overcommitted, overstretched, and just plain exhausted, and replace them with something better. No fluff, no guilt, just real talk, real solutions, and expert insights to help you shift the way you live. Whether you're here for the first time or you've been with me for a while, you're in the right place. I'm Michelle O'Neill, your resident emotional wellness coach, and I'm here to help you unlearn the patterns that are wearing you down so you can live with more ease, clarity, and control. Let's get to it. We love control. In fact, we crave it. We build entire identities around it. Because if we can control everything, our work, our homes, our teams, our schedules, then maybe, just maybe, we can keep the chaos out, right? Maybe we won't drop the ball. Maybe we won't disappoint anyone. Maybe we won't feel like we're constantly one step away from everything falling apart. But what if the thing you're fighting so hard for control is actually what's breaking you? What if control isn't power at all, but a trap? Today, we're going to talk about the unspoken reality of female leadership, the power through culture that's been sold to us as strength, but in reality is the very thing draining us. We're dismantling the biggest lie that we've been told. If you just try harder, you can control everything. Let's get into it. We're taught to power through before we're even old enough to know what that means. Be a good girl, get the grades, make everyone happy, don't complain, don't fall behind, be responsible. And when we grow up, it's the same script, just with bigger consequences. Handle everything, figure it out, keep it together. And when it gets hard, push harder, sleep less, work more. You can fix it. Because if you just try hard enough, you can control everything, right? That's the lie. A woman in leadership, whether it's in a company, a business, a home, or all of the above, are drowning in it. I've watched women power through the warning signs, exhaustion, resentment, anxiety, the creeping feeling that no matter how much they do, it's never enough. I've been that woman, the one who believed that if I could just get everything under control, I'd feel at peace. But instead of peace, I got more weight to carry, more expectations, more stress. So let me ask you this. What if the problem isn't that you need to work harder, but that the system was never designed to support you in the first place? What if the only way out isn't pushing through, but stopping long enough to see the truth? Control feels like safety. If you can just manage it all, if I can anticipate every outcome, plan for every worst case scenario, make sure that no one is upset, disappointed, or struggling, then maybe I can finally breathe. But let's be real. How's that working for you? How much of your energy is spent carrying other people's reactions, their failures, their decisions, their expectations, things that were never yours to hold? Women get stuck in this cycle because we've been conditioned to believe that being responsible means being in control. That if something goes wrong, it must be because we weren't paying close enough attention. And so we tighten our grip. We double check everyone's work. We anticipate problems before they happen. We jump in and fix things that weren't actually ours to fix. We make excuses for other people's behavior and we keep the peace even when it cost us our own. And we tell ourselves, that's just how it is. But is it? Or is this a system that's been handed to us? a belief that has kept us trapped because truth is, when we take responsibility for things outside of your power, you are setting yourself up for failure. You can't control how people react to you. You cannot control how people receive your leadership. And girlfriend, you cannot control whether or not they do the work, show up, or follow through. But you know what you can control? Your peace, your energy, your focus. And every time you try to control what's uncontrollable, you are sacrificing the thing that you actually can control: your peace, your energy, your sanity. I want you to sit with this one for a second because this is where so many women lose themselves. We think that if we just stay ahead of everything, we can prevent failure. We mistake vigilance for protection. We believe that if we let something go, if we don't handle it, then it's going to fall apart. You know what? Maybe it will. But here's the real question: if something completely depends on you to function, is it really working in the first place? Huh? Think about it. If your business or your team can't function without you being involved in every decision, is it really built for success? If your family can't handle small tasks without you directing them, are they really incapable? Or have they just been trained to rely on you? This is where leadership shifts from control based to clarity based. But we'll get to that in the next section. For now, I want to leave you with this question: how much of your exhaustion isn't from what you're doing, but from what you refuse to let go? Because if control was really the answer, wouldn't you feel better by now? By now, you've probably realized that control hasn't been keeping you safe. It's been keeping you stuck. So if control isn't the answer, what is? Clarity. Because real leadership isn't about gripping tighter, it's about getting clear on what's actually yours to hold and what isn't. This is a shift from control based leadership to clarity based leadership, and it changes everything. Let's break this down because right now you might be thinking, I don't want to control everything. But if I don't, look, things are going to fall apart. I get it. And that's why these shifts are so critical. Shift one: if I don't do it, it won't get done. We're going to shift from that to who's responsible for this? When you operate from control, you believe everything is yours to handle. That's why you step in. That's why you overfunction. That's why you carry the weight of things that aren't yours. But leadership is about teaching people to take responsibility for their roles, not doing it for them. And let's be honest, a lot of us don't delegate because deep down, we don't trust people to do it right. That, my friend, is a trust issue. So instead of training people, we take it on ourselves. We correct it, we redo it, and all we're doing, you're reinforcing the idea that they can't handle it and we have to. So ask yourself, who's actually responsible for this? Am I stepping in because it's necessary or because it's my habit? How about, would this person step up if I gave them the space to do it? Because the hard truth, as long as you keep jumping in, they won't. Here's shift number two: shift from I have to fix this to I have to create the conditions for this to be fixed. Woo! Did you get that one? You're not the fixer, you are the architect. This one actually took me so long to learn. And I still struggle with it, but I've learned to pull myself back. When something goes wrong, my instinct was to always jump in, to handle it, to smooth it over, and to make sure everything got back on track because I was good like that. But when you operate that way, you don't just exhaust yourself, you rob other people of the chance to step up. Instead of thinking, how do I fix this? Ask, what conditions need to be in place so this gets fixed? Instead of, how do I make sure this never happens again? Ask, what systems, training, or boundaries would prevent this happening again? Because real leadership isn't about being the one who fixes everything. It's about building an environment where things don't constantly need fixing. And the third shift from I need to hold it all together to I need to set it up so it doesn't depend solely on me. If your leadership, whether it's at home, your business, or your relationships completely fall apart the second you step away, ooh, that's not leadership. That's a dependency that you've created. Women get praised for being the glue that holds everything together. But what if you're not supposed to be the glue? Listen, think. If I disappeared for a month, what would fall apart? What systems need to be in place so that I'm not the sole point of failure? How about who needs to be empowered, trained, or trusted more? Because the goal isn't to be the one holding everything together. The goal is to be the one who creates something strong enough to stand without you. And let's talk about what happens when leaders actually start leading this way. I have seen women in leadership step back from micromanaging their teams, and suddenly their teams start performing at a higher level because instead of checking every detail, they focus on training and trusting. I've watched women in caregiving roles set boundaries and say, I am not the only one responsible for everything in this household. And guess what? Their families step up. And I've seen women let go of over functioning in their friendships, in their relationships, and in their workplaces. And instead of falling apart, the people around them finally started carrying their own weight. This is leadership, not control, not exhaustion, not martyrdom, leadership. And if you want to lead from power, presence, and peace, PPP, and not from burnout and resentment, this is where it starts. Here's what I want you to take away from this. Real leadership isn't about how much you can carry. It's about knowing what deserves your attention and what doesn't. You can spend your whole life gripping, micromanaging, over functioning, thinking control is the key to success. Or you can step into clarity. Because if you want to be free, if you want to lead in a way that actually creates impact without breaking you down, you don't need control. You need clarity. And clarity starts with a single question. Do I have your attention? Where in your life are you grasping for control instead of making a clear, conscious decision? Did you hear me? Where in your life are you grasping for control instead of making a clear, conscious decision? Where are you reacting, holding on, or over functioning when you should be stepping back, setting a boundary, or reconstructing the way things work? I want you to sit with this. because that's where your work begins. And if this episode is hitting home for you, I have something coming that you don't want to miss. Due to demand and interest, I've decided to run my workshop again in April. Stress is just the symptom. I'll be breaking down exactly how to release the illusion of control, stepping into clarity, and leading in a way that protects your energy instead of draining it. And I'll be opening the wait list soon. And if you want first access, be sure to get on it because it will be limited spaces, because I like to keep it personal so that we can have the real conversations. I like to keep it intimate. So sign up for the wait list and I will put the link in the show notes. If it's not there now, come back. It will be there. And as always, listen, I want to hear from you. DM me, email me, or just comment here. Where is control showing up in your life in a way that's costing you? And let's talk about it, because this is the conversation that changes everything. I'll see you next time. Take care. Bye-bye. If this episode hits home, don't just push it aside. Lean into it. Subscribe so you don't miss what's next. And connect with me on YouTube, LinkedIn, and Substack, where we go even deeper. Links will be in the comments. And if you're ready to start unlearning the patterns that keep you stuck, keep listening, because real change happens one choice at a time. I'll see you next time. Take care. Bye-bye.